and you're listening to the voice of UCF, Marc Daniels, and the Beat of Sports on FM 96.9 The Game. You want real sports talk? You got it right here.
Coming in hot today, Vasquez. Got to have hot takes.
Hot takes.
Got to have hot takes. Got to be loaded with anger. After the Magic's lost last night, you got to be buzzing with March Madness and everything.
I'm angry and I'm buzzing.
Got to have hot takes is what it's all about.
Hot. Emphasis on the hot.
Oh, man. Happy Monday to all, and welcome to the Beat of Sports. I'm Marc Daniels. That's Chris Vasquez over there. How you doing, Chris?
I'm good, Mark.
Yeah.
Baby girl's got a little bit of a cold that she's been battling last few hours, so kind of sad, but we power through.
All right, good. I'm wearing my Tottenham shirt today, a point away from relegation.
Ugh.
You can't give up on your team, though.
Hot takes.
That's English soccer. Another story. Be hot takes on that. But, yeah, how was your weekend?
It was good. What did I do? Saturday night, worked out at Bowigan's Avalon Park.
Cowboy night.
It was.
What was that?
Basically a DJ playing country music.
Oh.
They shut down one of the side streets, and there was line dancing.
It wasn't a night about the Dallas Cowboys. Bobby wasn't giving you a free cowboy night to celebrate.
No. Although the other bartender I worked with happened to be an Eagles fan, so I rocked my Cowboys jersey. She rocked her Eagles jersey.
Okay. All right.
People were kind of confused, but we made it work.
Okay.
Made some good money. Met a Beat of Sports listener.
Okay.
Actually, that was cool.
All right.
Shout out to him.
Nice.
Yesterday we had the 13-inning UCF baseball.
So Chris
game.
was producing the baseball game yesterday. And by the way, we'll lose our mind over the Magic in just a little bit and college basketball, so relax. I got a lot of things to get off my chest.
He's buzzing.
It's going to be like a Festivus. I got a lot of problem with you people. And you can listen on FM 96.9 AM 740. You can be listening on the iHeart app, and you can be watching the video stream. You can see my tongue, sure. Which you can access on the YouTube page. Go to their YouTube, click on 96 of the Game Orlando, click on the logo and the live button. You can access the live stream. Get that also via the Twitter at 96.9 Game On. So Chris was producing the UCF Arizona baseball game yesterday. And UCF won the first two games on Friday and Saturday. Relatively decent time, like 3 hours and 2:54. So we're doing good. And yesterday, we're flying. We're flying. And Chris, like, I don't want to say anything. You don't want to ruin it.
Nope.
You know? Like you got a no-hitter going for a while. You don't say anything. And we play 8 innings in an hour 55 yesterday.
That was fantastic.
You're like, shh. Nobody say it. But UCF led 1-0, and then they're down 2-1. Then they tie the game. And you're thinking, okay, come on, somebody score in the 9th inning. And 9th, 10th, 11, 12, 13. And then UCF walked it off with a base hit in the 13th. By the way, that game was still shorter than Tuesday's game at Stetson last week and played 13 innings.
So you mentioned Arizona. They couldn't start a new inning after 4:45.
Their deadline was 4:45 because they shower and they had a flight. I knew what time their flight was, and the deal was, and UCF knew that to start.
Game is 2-2. New inning starts after 4:45.
No, it's got to be before 4:45. If the inning starts at 4:44, then you complete the inning.
No, my point is, there's an inning that starts after 4:45.
No, the game would have been called a tie.
Oh, there's ties?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
You don't charter in college baseball. Well, a couple teams do, but I mean that's why.
Oh,
yeah.
Tie?
Well, there was a window to play the game, and they got the game in. I mean, that game still ended. If there was a 14th inning, we would have played because I think the game ended at like 4:32 or something. So we still would have played.
A tie, though? Ugh.
I know, it stinks, but
Disgusting.
Would you rather have what Oregon and Northwestern did in softball where the game ended at that particular minute because that was the agreement?
No.
Yeah, that's crazy. So anyway, and before I start yelling about the Magic and the UConn game, last week in the segment, Foods That Chris Doesn't Eat That Chris Eats.
Worst ever.
He had broccoli and acted like a little, forget 4-year-old, like a 2-year-old. Or like a baby that the first time they taste something just spits it out and starts crying. He acted worse than that. Then he sends me, okay, a small piece of broccoli that he could have dipped in any sauce, and there happened to be
And I did.
I'm saying there happened to be food that was brought by, and he had like garlic parmesan chicken wing sauce that he dunk in it, and just acted like a baby. Then this guy sends me video of a full octopus that he's
It
grilling.
wasn't a full octopus. It was the tentacles.
Basically, a creature on a TLC documentary. Then he's like, look at this. And you,
Oh, it's phenomenal. Great. Octopus is so good.
he'll eat octopus, but the
he's
the
thinking-
thought of a little
Broccoli is
$1-sized
disgusting.
broccoli piece, he was freaking out.
Broccoli is disgusting.
Over. Wow. What'd you have with the octopus? And how do you season it?
I made a marinade. It was olive oil,
Okay.
Minced garlic.
All right. Well, okay. So it was good.
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Okay.
And it was already like pre-cooked from Costco.
Mhm.
So just added the marinade, threw it on the grill for a few minutes. Oh,
And cried over
oh my God.
broccoli.
Broccoli is disgusting.
You're awful.
By the way, we have someone listening from Germany.
Where? Tell us where in Germany.
Where in Germany? Oh, good morning / afternoon from Germany.
All right, just
Let us know where.
Oh, yeah, right back. Let us know where. So anyway, what do you want to do first? You want to celebrate the madness of March, or should we do the anger of the magic?
I'm always give me bad news before good news. So let's start with the bad.
Okay. All right. A franchise worst 52-point loss for the Magic. And that wasn't just a loss. And what's the ripple effect of that? Well, actually, there's two answers. One is it should be big. Two, it also isn't. Why? Because they play again in a couple of days in a big back-to-back with Phoenix and Atlanta. And they got 8 games left, and they're still in 8th place. And it's still possible to finish in 6th. It's possible to finish in 10th. They can't finish 11th. So we'll magnify what was an embarrassing day for the franchise, for the coach, his assistants, and the players, and the president, GM, and the owner, and anybody else. Next. But first, everybody's favorite segment.
It's almost like an unwritten rule that when you become a father, you become king of the bad dad jokes.
What is Forrest Gump's password? 1 Forrest 1.
Are you ready to laugh? We know at least one person is. Here's CB's dad joke of the day.
Oh, that's so great. By the way, Mark, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right, but it's Wiesbaden.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Did I pronounce that right?
Of course, I say that like I've been there. No.
Wiesbaden.
Yeah, good.
All right. Mark, what is the cheapest way to travel?
I don't know, Chris. What is the cheapest way to travel?
In a sailboat. Get it? Sail.
Out of the box strong on a Monday. Wow.
In a sailboat.
I said earlier to Kelly on the bridge that the Magic could have lost last night. I'm going to pick a number here, Chris. The Magic could have lost 123-115 to Toronto. You could have watched the basketball game. You could have seen the team compete. Maybe they're down. Maybe they come back. Maybe they lead. You battle. You're on the road. Toronto makes a couple of plays and you end up losing by 8 points. And you say, hey, it's a big loss because now you're 3 games behind Toronto. You got 8 games left. You won't be able to catch them. You can be bothered by a loss and then point out about this particular play in the fourth quarter, or that Paolo did this, or Desmond Bay made that mistake, and that was the difference of the game. You could do that. And it's part of analyzing one of 82 games, but they get magnified because you're fighting for playoff seeding and you're trying to get out of the play-in. And that would be normal. That would be normal. But last night, I mean, you witnessed basketball history in a bad way. A 31-0 run. A 31-0 run. Chris, I don't think this is possible, but maybe you and I could find 3 other guys, and I'd like to think that maybe we would not have a 31-0 run against them.
I'd be willing to bet we wouldn't.
A 31-0 run. The Magic called 3 timeouts during the run. They led 20-14 with 5.5 to go in the first quarter, and they were down 45-20 with 9:43 left in the first half. Committed 19 first half turnovers. 19! And the 52-point loss is the worst in franchise history. They lost 139-87. They were down 70-43 at the half, and you saw it and I saw it. During that run, they quit. They quit. Sometimes I'm not a big plus-minus guy. It is hard to do. It is hard to do what Javon Carter. No, I'm sorry. What Jamal Cain did last night. We'll get to Jamal Mosley. Chris, it's hard to do what Jamal Cain did last night. Do you know what Jamal Cain did last night? And by the way, they didn't lose by 52 because of Jamal Cain. But it's hard to do this. You know what he did last night? He played 8 minutes in the game. It's not the fact that he didn't score. He played 8 minutes and was minus 32 in 8 minutes. You know how hard that is? Okay? I mean, Paolo had a minus 30 plus minus. He played 30 minutes. Jamal Cain had a minus 32. He played 8 minutes. Yeah. Laugh. It's impossible to do. I mean, how long on the court? 8 minutes. You guys get outscored by 32 when I was on the floor. I mean, poor Stuart Gilbert. That's the kid that played right field on my Little League team with 2 broken arms. Even he would have caught a ball once in a while. Okay. They all quit. They all quit. Quickly, 10 o'clock hour, WY, Jim Orlando, WGR, HD2, Cocoa Beach. You can search for blame, okay? If you're screaming about Jamal Mosley, look, barring an incredible run of this team, either A, to win 7 of its final 8 or something like that to get out of the play-in, or getting out of the play-in and then winning a first round and then giving somebody a really good series in the second round, you know what's going to happen here. He knows it. If his teams quit on him because the story's gotten old. Okay, and by the way, for those Magic fans that have been here a while, if you go back to the end of the Stan era and all the crap with Dwight, in addition to that, there was that sense that that message has gotten old. You know, the coach can just say so much. But you want to blame Jamal Mosley. Of course he deserves blame. Blame his coaching staff. They deserve blame. Don't let the players off the hook from that last night. What are you, crazy? Like I saw people, and some of the same people on Twitter are screaming about Mosley. Again, you know what has to happen if he's going to still be there. Okay? The funniest thing about the social media outrage is way to not have them prepared. One part of that is comical. What pregame speech in game 74 do you think is going to resonate in the locker room? If the paid professional, which now is college as well, if you don't know what's at stake, what do you think? You're getting some Norm Dale Hoosier speech before they play the Raptors on a Sunday? It's game 74. Look at the standings. You want to be in the play-in? This is what it is. Or do you want to realize there's 9 games left? Every game's pivotal. Just about everyone's against a team contending. What speech you think is going to resonate? Get out of here. It's game 74. You got a phone? You know what the standings are. Come on. That's on everybody last night, man. Everybody. And the camera shot, which a lot of people then posted of both the video and then the still frame of Jeff Weltman watching last night. Of course, like I said a few weeks ago, his contract's up. If you want to get rid of the coach, you better make sure who's hiring the next coach. And that organization's going to have to make that decision, which is not going to be today. But it may be quickly after the season ends, if it ends quickly in the play-in. Because last night, and particularly during the stretch, and again, you could scratch your head because the team had the win streak, and now it's been 7 of 8 losses. Listen, man, if they've tuned him out, it's easy to quit. It's easy to quit. You can go through the numbers all you want last night, and there is no spin to anything. A 31-0 run is unheard of. It's unheard of. Look, you'll have nights in the NBA, in 82 games, man. You'll have nights where you're on the road of a back-to-back. It's the end of a West Coast trip, and, you know, everyone's tired. Or you played a home game, you got on a plane, you landed in the next city at 3 a.m., and you're playing a 7 o'clock game, and you got to fly back home because then the day and a half later, sometimes you get it. But so does everybody else deal with it in the NBA, and that was just, it was embarrassing last night. After that basketball game, and people wonder, all right, well, what's Jamal Mosley going to say? Here's Jamal Mosley last night after that 52-point loss in Toronto.
Do a better job preparing them for what they were going to see tonight. You know, we talked a little bit about it, but probably not enough. We've got to have them prepared for the physicality of the game, you know, prepared for how much they were going to grab hold and get us off of our spots. You know, that's on me. I got to do a better job there with this group to make sure they're prepared in the right way, knowing exactly the sense of urgency that Toronto was going to play with, having guys out, the sense of urgency that they were going to play with, knowing the positioning that they were in for playoff positioning. So that's I've got to do a better job for this group there.
What do you feel were the main reasons for all the turnovers?
You know, again, they do a great job of getting you off your spot, their sense of urgency, their physicality, them hitting and, you know, moving you off your positioning. That was a big portion of it, getting to our spots earlier, knowing exactly how they were going to play. And just, you know, we just got to, you know, regroup, bounce back from this one, and find a way to get a game on against Phoenix.
Desmond Bane after that game.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to explain. Hard to swallow. I think anybody that watched the game knows exactly why we lost. We didn't guard anybody, turned the ball over 27 times. Talked about transition defense, but, you know, it's hard to get back and get matched up when you have that many live ball turnovers, and it just snowballed.
Said he felt like he didn't have you guys prepared properly the right way on him. How do you guys view the level of preparedness you guys came into this game with, and just why do you think you guys performed the way you did?
I mean, I think that we, you know, understood, you know, how big of a game it was, and that, but yeah, I don't have nothing for that.
What do you feel were the main reasons for all the turnovers?
it just sped us up. I mean, they applied ball pressure all night long from multiple spots, and
I want to go back to the clip or the comment where he says, I got nothing, for that, as some people then want to connect dots. It's like, well, see, they've tuned out Jamal Mosley. Maybe they have, but prepared, again, it's game 74, man. Today in the NBA, on how teams prepare for games and a scouting report, either A, the scouting report was so botched, but it's effort, man. It's effort. When you're playing the 74th game of the year and you know what's at stake, it's about effort, man. By now, everybody knows what everybody runs. Everybody knows what everybody runs in every single game. It's about executing and it's about effort. And once that snowballed, once that run started taking over, it was slouched shoulders. It was not getting back. It was like quit. He called 3 timeouts. Was there some sort of special elixir he was about to hand out for the second one that was going to change it? No. And by the time the run ends, it's over. They quit. The game was over. Now you would have voted for running clock, for crying out loud. And should they be embarrassed? I mentioned at Kelly in the bridge. We talked about, have some city pride. I'm not jumping on Kelly here, but I just said, if today, if you think the majority of the guys that play for the team that represents your city are playing for the city, I'll push back on that. Pride, you can have pride about the guys you play with, the guy that you to your left and right in the locker room, and those guys that you travel with, and the journey of an NBA season. Absolutely, you can have some pride for that. There's some dysfunctions that are there, and there's no other way to spin last night. It's a terrible loss. Can't feel bad for yourself because now you get Phoenix, you get Atlanta. They got stuff to play for, and you just got to go out and try to win as many games as you can of the final 8 games to see if you can get out of this play-in, but that's going to be a little bit tougher. But listen, that stuff about the coach, this is what it is right now, man. If they've tuned him out, then they're going to play that way down the stretch, and they're not going to care. And maybe they don't. I don't know. And if the president or GM, whatever the title is, if he can't see that, then he shouldn't be the guy making the decision to keep or to fire the coach and then hire the next coach. And it's not an excuse. It's just the narrative of this team now for another year of the injuries and the ripple effect and asking role guys to play more minutes, and they're not really talented enough to do that. And then the frustration builds, and the guys that have been healthy that know that they would be better if they had certain guys playing, that is into the pot that you stew along with whatever the situation is with the relationship of coach and players, and you have the formula of what you're watching right now, which is a team that looks as if they run out of gas, and when the going gets tough, mail it in. And last night was an example of that. I mean, Toronto looked like they were ready to play, understood what was at stake, and came out and did what they needed to do. Although I don't think part of the Raptors' game plan was, hey, here's what we're going to do to get a 31-0 run. Again, you could do this in a million more games, and you're not going to get a 31-0 run. It was incredible to sit and actually watch it. Made it easy because after that, I'm flipping over everything else. I mean, what are you watching in the Magic second half of that basketball game? So, no other way to spin it. You want to yell at the coach? Yell at the coach. Don't let players off the hook. Body language, all that stuff. By the time the second timeout was called, you just saw the team was like, "That's it. What's the meal on the flight out of here?" And they're still in 8th place today, as crazy as that is. I think it's a lot harder to get to Toronto back 3 with 5 to go. I mean, with 8 to go. But life comes at you fast in the NBA because here comes a back-to-back with the Phoenix and Atlanta. But now the Magic have put themselves in a position that no game is a guarantee. No game is easy for them. And all that evaluation about move this player, move that player, that'll come in time. That'll come in time. And if this ends quickly, meaning it's one game of the play-in and you're done, then that offseason of questions comes at you really quick. And you have to make a decision about what you want to do with your head coach. But it's going to start with ownership deciding who's making those decisions. This contract's up. And ownership has to say, okay, we're happy with this person making the basketball decisions for us. Okay. I mean, if you do that, then he's the guy that would hire the next coach if we all assume that what looks inevitable is going to happen. Then the other piece of this, even before you think who the next coach is if this season flames out the way that it's going right now, then whoever's making the basketball decision has to think of the following. Is this mix going to be healthy next year? And I don't know how any person could go, yes. Yeah. Looks good to me. I don't know how you do it. And even if you say they're healthy, you still have to do the next evaluation is, okay, does it work? Does it work? If there was a disconnect of the star player and the head coach, why? Who would be the next coach that can get the most out of all players? If we're going to think about making a change, what are the pieces that you would move and who's unavailable? Like it was the running social media thing because Bill Simmons talks about the Magic with his basketball buddies and they mentioned about Giannis. And that's cool, man. We did that before the trade deadline. If you're not thinking of every possible scenario, then you're not doing your job. But even with that one, you got to give up to get. And if you're going to get, do you want to pay that? Are you sure that's the right mix? He'd be another year old. I mean, all that stuff you're going to have to consider. And the question is, do you get to start doing that in late April versus in May sometimes or June like you hoped? But I don't know. I mean, maybe this team pulls out one of those wild games and it triggers something. But I'm not quite sure that if you look at body language, not just last night, but during the stretch of 7 of 8, particularly when you look around and even though Boston beat Charlotte the way the Hornets have played, certainly the way the Hawks have played, there's some nights that when Philly's healthy, they can beat anybody in the East. The two teams that look at times disengaged and disinterested are the two state teams. I mean, Miami have their own losing streak, and then they have some eye-popping performances and don't play defense, and the Magic haven't played defense in a while, and the backbone of what Eric Spoelstra used to do and what the Magic did. I mean, they're the two teams that look like they're in disarray. So, 31-0 run, history. 52-point loss, history. I think a minus 32 in 8 minutes is also something that should be put up there. Like, do you know how hard that is, man? Like, do you know how hard that is in 8 minutes to get a minus 32? Holy smokes. Wow. Suns, Hawks back-to-back, then New Orleans on the road. 8 games left in the season, and the scenarios are out there as far as how high and how low. But as of today, I think I said going into the weekend, they would be in 9th. They sit in 8th. They are 2.5 games behind the Hawks, who sit in the 6th spot. 3 games behind Toronto, sits in the 5th spot. 2 games now behind Philadelphia for 7th. and a half game up on Miami and Charlotte, who are in 9th and 10th. That's where they are. We'll get to all the drama, excitement, and history of a final shot and why it's so incredible coming up. I want to do the UConn Duke finish in just a little bit, Chris. A couple other things. You can catch us on the stream at 96.9 Game on Twitter or our YouTube page. Just type in 96 in the Game Orlando, click on the logo and then the live button, and I'm going to get to Duke UConn. Got a Final Four. Got an unbelievable. No disrespect to UConn, Illinois, but Michigan, Arizona, to me, is a championship game. Just wow. That's going to be awesome. Last night, the Orlando Storm played their debut game in the UFL. Okay, I did watch a little bit of it. I was curious, and based on how the Magic game went, it became alternate viewing. And I said this to Kelly briefly, and I say it again. There is nothing wrong with the quality of football that these leagues put out. When the Apollos played here, when what was the name of that team?
The Guardians.
The Guardians. When they played here, now they weren't very good, but the overall league, there's nothing wrong. And I maintained this for years, and I'm in this group, although I think I'm more cognizant. If you stripped away the logos of a football game and you could not tell where they were playing and you just got the football, the majority of people would know, like, Tom Brady excellence. Okay? But if you just watched a game, you couldn't say, man, I don't know, that those guards are playing subpar, and man, it's football. And there's nothing wrong. The challenge of these spring leagues has always been it's always been the public acceptance of logos that you don't know. And the timing of when we play games that we are normally watching different times of the year. Okay? If you tuned in, and I watched last night, the football, there's nothing wrong with the football. The image, though, and I think this applies in college football, can't say the NFL because just about every stadium is full, even with bad teams. In college football, just in college football, if you're scrolling through the channels and you come across a game and the camera's wide shot shows a stadium that has very few people in it, you will psychologically think, well, this isn't good. Right? This isn't, can't be very good. That's part of what the image has been on spring football. Is when you watch these games on TV, if you don't see a big crowd, you think, well, nobody cares. But the quality, there's nothing wrong with the quality. If you watch last night's game, I'm not telling you that it was the Bills versus, it wasn't Allen and Mahomes playing in late January. But the quality of football is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. And there are players going to play in the UFL that will get into NFL camps, and some will play in the NFL, just like there are guys playing in the UFL that play in the National Football League. There's good coaching. There's good players. I love some of the rules that they're, doing and trying, that the NFL monitors. There's nothing wrong with it. Is it must-watch television for me? No. But I wasn't like, oh, God, this is terrible. Get this off. It's football. So if you went to the game last night, and I think they announced over 11,000. I don't know if there was 11,000 people there last night, and I'm long past that. Well, what do you think the actual attendance? Who cares? If you went to the game and had a good time and you want to go back again, good.
I do want to go to a game.
If you didn't go and will never watch, that's fine also. That's okay. The league is going to make it or not make it based on how much money the current owner, now Mike Rapoli, is willing to lose. Because every other league that's tried this simply pulled the plug because they didn't want to keep losing money. How do you make money? To me, the only way these leagues work is if that shield that has the three letters that matter, get behind it. And there's no motivation for the National Football League to get behind anything. Why? They have the best development system they could ever want. They get this league and others that spend all of their money, not the NFL, and they have college football, which they don't have to spend a dime on. So why would they attach their name to anything when other people are doing it for free for them?
Could I ask you something about that?
Yes.
Okay, so with this labor battle going on right now between the NFL and the refs, maybe the NFL gets behind something that kind of trains up the refs instead of, whatever they're going to try for replacement officials again.
They already do. In fact, the NFL's latest proposal had refs going to these leagues to continue their development, which the refs have pushed back on. But I don't think that's got anything to do with, the NFL getting involved. The NFL, it isn't even quietly. The NFL, whether it was the league that the Apollos were in or the Guardian, the NFL constantly was in communication about acquiring data that they use for the chip and the football, the rules in play and the kickoff and all sorts of stuff. They just don't have to pay for the league. So it's free for them. I don't know, and Mike Rapoli knows what he needs to have in attendance for these games to make it worth his while. And at some point, he's got to decide how much money. Now, the last front of this, which was then the X and the U, and it's the TV deal. They can't ask for a better deal. It's content for Fox and ESPN. So the games they put on, whatever the audience ends up being, and I don't know what the number is going to be last night, because the competition last night was what? It was the Knicks and the Thunder on NBC. And then they had there was another game, the Denver game afterwards. But I don't know, they may end up drawing probably 800,000, maybe 1 million people. It's fine. It's content for them. It's not like it's buried. It's not like, where is it? It's on the CW.com. The games are on Fox, ESPN, and FS1. So they got a great TV deal. But the football's fine. It's just the image you have, you put on a football game and you see an empty stadium and you think the quality stinks. And it's not true. It just depends on what you're comparing it to. Again, you're not watching the Rams and the Eagles when you tune into that. So just accept what you're watching. But there's nothing wrong with the quality. Guys can play football. Guys have played football at a high level. So the quality's fine. It's just you're not used to the logos, and you look at a stadium and it's not full. It's not. Listen, the USFL success many, many, many years ago in a different sports world was different, and also they drew crowds, and people tuned in. But the TV presentation last night, there's nothing wrong with it. It was fine. I mean, Joe Tessitore was calling the game. Is he and Rogers doing the game, and the coverage is fine. The stuff on the field where they're getting into the huddle, and you're not going to get in the National Football League. So if you like that, it's great. It's good. If you didn't watch, that's okay. What happened yesterday in Duke and UConn, it's why you're addicted. Next.
Never fear. Marc Daniels is here. Welcome back to the Beat of Sports.
I've said for many, many years, whether I've been doing this show or fortunate to call games that have moments that you know are just going to live with fans. Chris, there's a reason why some of us are addicted to sports. I'm not talking gambling. I'm talking about addicted to sports. We watch because of the element of unknown. You can go watch a movie, you could binge watch a TV show, and somebody can ruin the ending for you. You didn't see the newest Mission Impossible movie when it came out, and then the jerk at the office the next day goes, "Oh my God, the ending was this." You can hear about that great new show on whatever streaming, and you can read a review and it tells you the details about it. The reason why companies pay billions of dollars for sports rights is what you got yesterday. Now, you can't guarantee those, but what makes them so special is when they happen. And what makes them even more special is if you don't have a rooting interest in the two teams playing and you do the, oh my God, that's sports. When an athlete does something that you know is better than anybody else has ever done with a performance, you go, wow. When a team does something that hadn't been done, you go, wow, like 31-0, Toronto. But there's something dramatic. There's something special. There's something magical. There's something gut-wrenching. There's something euphoric when it happens in the final seconds of a game. Football, hockey, an overtime goal, baseball, walk-off home run, basketball, a final shot. It is magical. It's sports. It's why we're addicted. It's why we follow our teams. And most of the time, they're going to break our heart because you can't win every time. But when it happens, oh, man, you just feel better, right? Everything tastes better. You're not bothered by things as much. You can't wait for the next game. Last night's Duke-UConn game, if you hung in there, gave you that. A lot of people on Twitter, I told you about Duke and UConn and punched their ticket, and I don't get people like that. They quickly want to post something. I told you Duke will blow out UConn. Like, you can wait till the game's over. Anyway,
Got to be first.
The rally, down 19, and then the second half, 15 becomes 10, becomes 9. At 9, you're kind of like, it's kind of interesting. And I got to admit, the cutaway shots of Bill Murray, it adds to the drama. It just does. I'm sorry. It just does. Gets to 6, gets to 5, gets to 3. And you're like, whoa. And I don't care how talented freshmen are. Pressure applies to everybody. And some of those freshmen on Duke felt the pressure, and the UConn crowd got involved, and Dan Hurley screaming on the sideline, and every miss that that Duke has, you kind of feel like, uh-oh. And yet Cam Boozer makes that shot, puts him up 3. Free throw makes it a 2-point game. And forever, at a historic program like UConn, this play is going to be remembered. 5 million people will claim they're in that building. The rest will tell you exactly where they were when that shot took place. And the same thing goes to the other side. As historic as Duke's program has been and is and will be, and all those incredible moments, and John Sharp probably is going to win multiple championships as a coach there, they're going to have that moment. They're part of the Christian Laettner shot, so sometimes it goes against you. And they'll analyze it forever and ever and ever. But This is what sports is about, man.
Cut and run through the ball. They'll do better than this guy. Get it into Boozer. Back for Sarr. Ahead. Boozer. That ball deflected. Stolen by Mullins. Carabin, 2 seconds. Mullins tosses it out. It's good. We're 4-3. Utah goes in front.
Perfect time. Braylon Mullins, even if UConn loses by 30 on Saturday at Illinois, is now a hero in the history of UConn basketball. Yes, despite not winning a championship if that ends up happening. But he's a hero because that's sports, man. And here's what else makes it great. Not if you're a Duke fan, but here's what else makes it great, Chris. I'm going to go back and play this again because everybody becomes the armchair quarterback, the armchair coach. Everybody knows exactly what you're supposed to do in that situation. It's so easy for us on the sideline watching, right? Everybody knows what we're supposed to do because we do it every game. We sit and we watch our guys play and we yell at them. Why'd you do that? You're supposed to do this, right? All that, because that's what we do as sports fans. And the argument is, well, what should Duke have done? John Shire had a timeout. Why didn't he use the timeout? Why didn't he remind his team what to do? Why did his team keep passing? If you watch the video that's been posted about Shire's reaction as the play's going on, and even he kind of looks as Caden Boozer gets the ball, like, throw it. First off, it's a natural reaction if you're watching something. Chris, if your cyborg kicker for the Dallas Cowboys is trying a 72-yard field goal, okay, in a game, right? And it begins to lean a certain way. Don't you kind of lean? We just kind of do it, right? We just kind of do it. So I don't think Shire was like, oh, throw it. Because if Boozer does throw the ball over the players, there's 2 Duke players that are there. They either dribble the clock out or they dunk and they celebrate. And today we're talking about what a valiant comeback by UConn, but Duke survived and they move on to the Final Four. Hold the ball. Right. Absolutely, that's the play. The inbound to Boozer, hold the ball. Couple things now. He's going to get trapped. They don't have to foul immediately because there's still time on the clock. He's going to get trapped. So he got to know there's a timeout. Hold the ball. Wait to be fouled. Okay? Pass it back to Sarr. Hold the ball. Wait to be fouled. Throws the ball to Caden Boozer. Hold the ball. Wait to be fouled. Don't dribble, then pick up. Now, all those things are correct. All of them are correct. Except it's why we play the game, right? We play the game to see how people are going to react in moments like that. And while a young kid from Indiana throws up a shot from the logo that goes in and hits nothing but net, we play the game for moments like that. Young kids, even veterans. Those moments, how do you handle them? 3 Duke players had a chance to hold the basketball and either A, be fouled, B, call timeout. If you felt a trap's coming, timeout. They passed all 3 times. Did John Shire yell, pass? I think, look, he deserves criticism on the timeout and his players know every situation there. Fine. If the pass gets over the 2 2 UConn players, no one's ripping anything. But it's sports. It's why it happens. Now, even after the turnover, it's not like UConn's got an uncontested layup to the basket for crying out loud. You know. Mullins gives it up. Carabin gives it back. And the kid's got to take the shot. And he takes the shot. Chris, all that happens, right? And Mullins clanks it off the rim. What are we doing today? What's the story? Man, Duke survived. They got lucky, right? What a comeback. But Duke survived. He has to hit the shot. Mm-hmm. He has to hit the shot. So he hits the shot. That's sports. It's why we watch. Another favorite thing that always happens is, well, did Duke choke or did UConn win the game? I love that one. I love that one. There's no right or wrong answer. Why? Because both apply. Both apply. It's not one or the other. No, UConn won the game. Duke did their part to blank the bed during that game. Even before the turnover there, they did their part. And so did UConn. You got to make shots. You got to get stops. As I say, it's not a complicated game. Basketball comes down to making shots, getting stops. And all of a sudden, UConn did that. There's the clip of Dan Hurley when he's told that his team was 1 for 18 to start the game shooting 3. They're not making shots. But that's sports, man. And you want emotion? I mean, you got emotion. You want to do this one? This is Tracy Wolfson with John Shire. By contract with the NCAA, the losing coach is required to go out and do this interview. And here's Shire.
John, I'm sure you're still processing everything, but what happened down the stretch of that game to allow them to come back and ultimately get that shot off at the end there?
Well, look, I don't have the words for you. You know, all I know is these guys don't deserve that ending. They've been incredible this year, and don't deserve this ending. And
he's shocked. Look in his face is complete shock. This guy, Chris, I think maybe a little bit of a big prediction out there. This guy's going to make $500 million in the next decade. This is Cam Boozer, and yet here's him after the game.
Hurting right now. We're all hurting. I wish I could have gave more for those guys. You know, Caleb, Pat, Malik, you know, everyone's hurting, dealing with injuries, coming and playing. You know, it took a lot of heart, it took a lot of balls to do that, you know. So I'm just proud of them, proud of our team.
My point in the next decade is that he'll get a third contract by the end of that decade, and if the numbers keep going, the guy's going to make $500 million. So he'll be fine, but he'll never not think about that game. I mean, it's one of those games when you win, you get a hero, and you'll never not think about it if you're on the other side of that. Never.
I do appreciate the emotion that.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Because today's world, you know, these guys are getting paid. They don't really care. For him to show that emotion.
You can't be in that and not care.
For him to show that emotion, I appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, you can't be involved in that game and not care the way it goes. And the scramble of that last play, I mean, that's everything. It's one thing, oh, well, you know, hey, they got 18 seconds to go. They're down 1. We're going to design a play. And no. I mean, the stuff that had to happen for UConn to win that game, the comeback, and then what took place there. But when young players, old players, it's the moment, what do? 3 times had a chance to hold the ball. 3 times they passed. And the last one caught him. You know, does the second Boozer make the biggest mistake? Yeah, he made a couple mistakes. He dribbled and he stopped. And then he tried to throw it over 2 guys that were jumping. Yeah, absolutely. The kid still has to make a shot from the logo. He didn't turn it over inside the paint for an easy basket. It was, yeah.
God, just goosebumps. Listening to the ball. Nothing but net. The crowd erupting. Oh, God, just goosebumps.
For Chris, one more time.
Seconds to go. Got to cut and run through the ball. Who better than this guy? Get it into Boozer. Back for Sar. Ahead. Boozer. That ball deflected. Stolen by Mullins. Caravan, 2 seconds. Mullins tosses it out. It's gone. We're point 3. Utah goes in front.
Oh, it's sports, man. It's why you watch. It's why we're addicted. So that when you get moments like that, even if it's not one of your teams, you still do the, oh my God. And you know, I can prove that. I'm sitting there watching the game, and my wife is on the couch there. And what did I hear? Oh my God. Because she was in awe. Like, what was that just happened? And I'm like, I don't know. It's sports, man. It's sports. We're going to do a show within the show on the stream. If you're hanging out in the YouTube video stream, stay there. If you're not, go jump on there. I want to take a point from what we just talked about, and we'll discuss that on the stream. We got 11 o'clock hour kickoff with the news next.
Yellow.
So the question I was going to ask,
Okay.
and for everybody or anybody that's watching,
Mhm.
is there a game of any of your teams that broke you like Duke losing yesterday? Is there a game that stands out? Okay, for me, and it is the beauty of sports. It is why I don't hate the person. It is why I hate the basketball player Reggie Miller. Okay? I cannot stand the basketball player Reggie Miller. Respect the person, but cannot stand the basketball player because of what he did to rip the heart out of the Knicks. Obviously, the game. So it's, and I'm not talking about a loss of I'm talking about yet a moment where it was like that. That you're like,
Any
oh
sport?
my God.
Any sport?
Yeah, I mean, in any sport. I mean, the opposite, and it wasn't the final play of the game, but I mean, the UCF USF game, the Mike Hughes kick return, and then to do it a week later in double overtime to win the conference championship game for UCF.
Could I give you one that doesn't involve one of my teams?
Yeah.
I just go back to I think it was the Saints Vikings divisional round game. Case Keenum to Stephon Diggs. When I think it was the Saints DB kind of lowered his shoulder and just completely whiffed on Diggs, and he takes it to the house to send I think it was the Vikings to the NFC Championship game. You don't remember that?
We're going for moments like this, and you're bringing me a Saints Vikings divisional round game.
It's one of those oh my God moments. Or if you want me to give you one, 2007 Cowboys Giants wild card round. Cowboys, I think, were 13-3, swept the season series from the Giants, and then Cabo with Tony Romo.
Yeah, but I'm looking for more like last second. Here's your heart. Here's a knife. I'm just shoving it in your heart. Now you're dead. that's like Canada losing in the gold medal to the Americans. That is gut wrenching. Like what you watch Duke and Shire and the players and their reaction. Like that's what I'm looking for.
I think there was
like the game that you're like, oh my God, I cannot believe that just happened.
I think it was 2016, Dak and Zeke's rookie season against the Packers. Opening round of the playoffs. Cowboys, I think, had the lead or it was tied. Rodgers goes down, does Rodgers things. Packers kick it last second field goal to win the game.
Now, remember, I was at the Norwood game, too, so I was on the other side of that celebrating the Giant win, but I was there when Norwood missed the kick.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the complete other side of that.
Let's see. When UF was up 31-3 on Florida State.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Choke at the Doak. FSU wins 31-31. One of the great headlines ever.
Russians beating the U.S. in basketball years ago.
Damn right we didn't take the silver medal.
When Argentina beat France in the World Cup.
Oh, that's good.
Not happy with R.J. Barrett offensive rebound, UCF versus Duke.
Well, yeah, but the gut-wrenching thing is the Aubrey Dawkins ball that somehow physics denies the ball going down the cylinder. Yes, it's a terrible call, the hook and hold, but I mean, that's heartbreak. I remember pounding the table. I was so angry, not knowing how that ball does not go down. That drove me crazy. Yeah.
Trying to think of. You can go the.
That was such a different heartbreak, though, because, I mean, just getting to the second round was great. You're not expecting to beat Duke when the game starts, everything, and then you're in the game with a chance to win. So
what about the Chiefs-Niners Super Bowl a couple years ago? I think it went to overtime.
Yeah.
I guess not last second, but a walk-off touchdown.
Chris just giving us close games.
Why not?
Yeah. He's 2 minutes away of a July Cowboys game in '86. He's about to break down a preseason game where Drew Pearson caught a slant and was tackled at the 2-yard line. We'll do the news when we come back.
Let's really do the news.
Yes. Now it is time to do the news.
But now it's time for the news.
7 o'clock hour, WYGM Orlando, WJR HD2 Cocoa Beach, Orlando sports leader, Marc Daniels, the Beat of Sports. Chris was awful during the show. Within the show.
What? Was I not giving you what you wanted?
No.
Yes, I was.
No. The audience was much better.
Ugh.
I mean, just quickly.
There's no pleasing
well,
you.
No. What we were discussing on the stream was moments like a Duke fan endured when their team they're heartbroken with a play like that.
I give you Viking Saints divisional round of the playoffs.
Chris just starts naming random close games. He's like, yeah,
heartbreak.
I think there was that time where, I think the Bucks played the second week of the season against the Jets in 2014, and I think they were held to like 81 yards rushing or something. Just giving like obscure games that have nothing to do with it.
Such a liar.
I don't want your heart being broken on something like that. Here, wait.
Again, I give you.
Wait, can I give you one? This is for your own team. Ready? Okay. The botched extra point with Tony Romo against Seattle. That's heartbreak. That's your team not anticipating that, and then that happens. That instead you're giving me some Stephon Diggs play that.
How is that not heartbreak if you're the Saints? How is that not heartbreak?
I just, I'm looking for a little bit more umph out of you.
There's no pleasing you.
Yeah. Then he names like a Padres Mets game in 2019. He's just like terrible. It was awful. About as bad as the Magic last night. A franchise record lost 52 points to the Toronto Raptors in an NBA history-making 31-0 run by Toronto. The Magic led the game 20-14 with 5:30 to go in the first quarter. They did not score for a length of time. At 9:43 the second quarter is 45-20. Jamal Mosley called 3 timeouts and the end of the quarter, and the Magic get beat by 52. 19 first-half turnovers against Toronto. If you watched any of the 31-0 run, you cannot tell me the team did not quit. They did. And slouched shoulders, bad body language, and just a historic performance on the wrong end for the Magic last night. Back-to-backs coming up with Phoenix and Atlanta for the Magic, who find themselves in 8th place, just a half game up on the 9th and 10th spot as they fight for seeding in the East, but not at all a good night. The Final Four is set in college basketball. We'll get UConn and Illinois to be the first game coming up on Saturday at 6:09, then Arizona and Michigan. I think the two best teams in the country. They'll play the other semifinal game at like 8:50 from Indianapolis for the Final Four championship game is set for Monday. Just an incredible game last night with UConn and Duke, which we just talked about before. The Orlando Storm opened up their first game of the season in the UFL, 23-16 win over Columbus last night to get the victory. They're back in action coming up on Saturday. Gary Woodland underwent brain surgery in 2023. The PGA golfer has been dealing with PTSD as a result of the brain surgery that he had in 2023. He won the Houston Open yesterday comfortably. Very emotional as one could imagine. He's headed to the Masters now with that win. I happened to tune in to watch. I think it was halftime of the Duke UConn game, and I flipped over. I know the story of Gary Woodland, and he was approach on 18 and the putt out, and very emotional. Saw some of the post round stuff, and what a great story. Really, really popular golfer with the players, even before he dealt with the brain surgery, but afterwards, and some of the things he's dealt with. Very emotional, and good for him. What a story. What a story. To come back and get the win. Opening weekend of Major League Baseball, ABS, blank number of challenge calls. What percentage of challenge calls were overturned? What percent out of 175?
I'll say 30%.
54. 54.
How many things are we sending to the Hall of Fame?
Just the first one. 3.7 challenges per game. Pitchers and catchers having a better success rate than batters. Pitchers and catchers 63%, the batters at 42%. C.J. Buckner. Tough day for him at the office, the umpire. The Reds-Red Sox game had 6 calls overturned, including 2 consecutive ones and 1 at bat. Yikes. Yeah. Yeah, these umps do not like this stuff when they're put in a spotlight like that.
Be better.
Yeah. But the opening weekend complete. Someone's still undefeated, Chris.
Only, 159 games to go?
Yeah.
A lot of Braves walk
Judge
off
got a
grand
couple home.
slam.
That's right. Chris is back in the Braves bandwagon until June. Maybe next he'll tell us, man, there was that Braves game. That Chipper hit a double in the 4th. That was cool. One of the best games I've ever seen.
I did go to a Braves game years ago where Matt Franco hit a grand slam off Javier Vasquez in the bottom of the 8th. That game was fun. That was a good game to go to. That was a June game.
That it?
Yeah.
Heartbreaking games. I was at this game that Andrew Jones struck out in the 8th. I cried for weeks after that. It was really tough on me emotionally.
There's just no talking to you. There's no pleasing you.
I was looking for a little bit more emotional stuff, and you're kind of wandering off there. Tonight, Pistons and Thunder. Marquee game of the NBA. The women's Final Four will be set. Texas and Michigan, South Carolina, TCU play the 2 regional finals. UConn and UCLA are in the Final Four based on their wins yesterday. All right, we come back. A couple of football notes that I want to get to. Chris touched on one of the topics, but we'll get back to that and more when the Monday edition of BS Sports continues next.
He's the voice you trust for the teams you love. You're listening to Marc Daniels and the Beat of Sports.
You want, before I get a couple football things, you want that or you want the Kit Kat update?
Oh, the chocolate heist?
Yes. So this has gone viral, which, of course, a 12-ton shipment of Kit Kat bars was stolen. The truck was in central Italy on the way to Poland when it was stolen. The vehicle and the contents remain unaccounted for, and it could lead to a possible shortage of Kit Kats. You're laughing. You think it's funny. But Kit Kat has put out an official statement.
Oh, my God.
At Kit Kat is the Twitter handle. It says, we can confirm that 12 tons of Kit Kat products were stolen while in transit between our factory in central Italy and their destination in Poland. We're working closely with local authorities and supply chain partners to investigate. The good news, there are no concerns for consumer safety and supply is not affected. Thank you. So that's the update from Kit Kat. So rest assured they're going to get to the bottom of this.
That's fantastic. So is it
but quickly, it is amazing how some things, the silliest things, go viral. So I see this, right? Do you know how many other, like, remember when the McDonald's CEO looked like he wasn't enjoying the arch?
Yeah.
And every other CEO started. So, like, companies now are putting out a statement in support of Kit Kat, or, hey, all of our product is safe and secure, playing off. It's like you never know what something just triggers, and then it goes so viral. So, yeah.
I mean,
Chris is more excited about the, like I said, this has to be a Netflix film. Like, get out of the truck. Why? I want the chocolate. But I've got like $1,000 cash on me. I'm not interested in that. I just want the chocolate.
Is there like a black market?
I also have my
chocolate?
code to get my crypto, which is worth $5 million. Hey, pal, I just want the chocolate. Get out of the truck. What?
Is there like a black market for chocolate, like stolen chocolate goods?
Hey, man, I'll be on that dark web in like an hour, seeing if I can buy some boxes, okay? Just telling you. Once you go on the dark web, you realize you can buy anything, man.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Weapons, sure. You know, big trucks, yeah. Kit Kat bars, I'm all in. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Like I told Kelly, you have a choice. Guy pulls up, and he'll say a car stereo, a burner phone, or a box of Kit Kat bars. I want to know the cost of the Kit Kat bar. Yeah. How great is that? Huh? How great is that, for crying out loud? The NFL owners are in Arizona and meeting for a couple of days. Tomorrow should be a very big day for football in Orlando. The NFL owners are expected tomorrow to be asked to vote on the Jacksonville Jaguars moving to play here in 27. There appears to be nothing to stop that vote. It should be a formality. It will not get to the floor for the owners to vote unless it has approval. They simply won't do that. So that could be a very big day tomorrow.
It's exciting
for the Jaguars to come here in a schedule that would feature the Bucs and Dolphins playing here. So, got that going. All right, you mentioned this, and it is a little bit of a story of interest. But the NFL and the NFL Referees Association are at an impasse. The NFL referees deal is up, and just like players that have a labor deal, they are negotiating with the league. They want increased pay. They want a number of things. The NFL maybe wants to increase their pay a little bit, not as much. The NFL also wants some other things to take place. They want to utilize spring league to develop referees, and they're at an impasse. The Referees Association put out a statement going, hey, this is the richest league in the world. Basically saying that these guys have more money you can ever think of, and we're fighting and scratching for dollars, and they're at an impasse. So then the report is, and this was out there a couple of weeks ago, but it's like, hey, the NFL is about to move forward on trying to get replacement refs and sign deals with officials from college football, what we know as the FBS and Division II, Division III, which may be nothing more than a threat because, Chris, it's March 30th. What are we hiring replacement refs? Well, we got to train them. Okay. In April? For August games? I mean, it's all part of negotiation, but call me when it matters. Call me when it matters.
It's just, I don't know at what point enough money is enough money, which clearly the answer is it's never enough. But it should not get to this point. It should not be this hard to sit down with the refs, come to some sort of agreement, because without refs, obviously we don't have football. We need refs. We've seen what replacement officials look like.
Okay, I'm sorry, finish. Yeah.
It's not good. Why can't we just sit down, hammer it out, be done?
Well, they will. It's March 30th. The NFL's offered the refs a 6-year deal that averages annual raises of 6.45%. The average NFL official earned blank in 2025. You know what blank was? The average officials. That includes the high end to the low end. That includes the head ref to a back judge. And the average NFL official earned what in 2025?
I couldn't even venture out a guess. I'll say
yes,
$75,000.
$75,000. Final answer?
Yes.
Final answer?
Yes.
$385,000.
Okay.
There's a lot of people right now that have just heard that number that are like, wait, what are you guys fighting about? They're offering you about 6.5% of a raise annually, and the average salary is $385, and you guys are screaming?
So to those people,
yeah,
it's the same as players.
Yeah.
Yes, obviously players.
Nope,
take
not
the
same
contact.
as players. Very bad comparison.
No, I don't think it is. No, Mark.
Go ahead.
The NFL is bringing in gobs of money.
They
Players
are.
want to get theirs.
Yes.
Refs want to get theirs.
Right. Yeah.
What is wrong with the refs getting a little bit more money?
First off, they can ask for anything they want, and whatever they get, good for them. I don't have a problem with someone trying to make as much as they can. Your comparison is not the same. I've not once heard you say, I cannot wait for Sunday's Fox game. And I'm like, wait, who's playing? You go, playing. Sean Hoculey's doing the game. I mean, I can't recall going, honey, listen, whatever we got to do Sunday, just get it done. Because have you seen who's reffing the Sunday night game? I mean, give me a break. There's a clear difference. No one pays a ticket.
Okay, but again, we just saw what the NFL was like when we had replacement refs. It was horrible. We have one ref ruling touchback. We have one ruling touchdown. What do we got? What is it?
That's called a typical Sunday in the NFL. But anyway. No, Chris, you have to agree. I would think you would agree with me. The average person that just heard me say, like, I'll be honest, I would have guessed about 100 to 125.
Mm-hmm.
You guessed 75.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw the number, I said, well, let me make sure this ESPN story is right. So then I just looked at other places. That's the number. Okay? You have veteran officials that are making north of $500,000. By the way, good for them. Okay? When I say a person's making $385,000, the thought, and by the way, still have other jobs. You're not going to get a lot of sympathy when someone goes, yeah, I'd hold out the 6.45% annual raise. Now, what the average fan doesn't know is it's not, hey, fly in Saturday, do the game Sunday, fly out Sunday, back and work Monday. It's more than that. And we want to hold refs accountable. We want transparency and bad calls. And there is a system of grading the officials. But you're going to have a hard time finding sympathy when someone goes, wait, they make what? Yeah, almost $400,000 a year. Yeah.
Okay, so owners just continue to collect billions upon billions upon billions of dollars.
Yep.
That's okay. Yet the rest want a little bit more of a pay increase.
Okay, you act like they don't pay salaries that have been collectively bargained about revenue distribution in the National Football League. Okay. Yeah. You don't like the fact that guys were wealthy and put in position to buy teams and continue to make a lot of money off those teams. Sorry. I mean,
I don't have the issue with that. My issue is they're trying to get a little bit more money. There's nothing wrong with refs trying to get more money for
there
the
is
sport
nothing
that
wrong.
brings in the most money.
Chris, there's nothing wrong in trying to make more money. Leverage goes just so far, just like a player. Give me one of the NFL's best players.
CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, great. He's like a cowboy. You take advantage of when you have leverage. Maximize that, try to get your money. Now, the refs are going to say, here's our leverage. Then we won't work. And then you'll be stuck with replacement refs, and you'll have to deal with missed calls and things like that. And the NFL is willing to say, well, you want to walk away from a job that pays you almost $400,000? Walk away. I mean, this is standard negotiation, which is, even though we're talking about it, it's March 30th. If it's July 30th, might be a little bit more concerned, but you guys got plenty of time for this.
We've had plenty of time before this point.
Okay, but if I asked you this question, so what's fair? I mean, do you know the answer to that? What's fair?
I'm not in their heads. I don't know what's fair to them.
Well, I just told you. You don't need to be an NFL official. I just told you what the average pay is.
What, 375?
385.
385, sorry.
385. Yeah. What should the average pay be? What should the average pay be? I mean, now you're just picking a number.
I am.
Yeah, but the problem is it started at 385. If it was 75 and you said, well, 100,000, it's 385. It's a pretty good number.
We want games called fairly and correctly, right?
Okay.
We want games called fairly, correctly, and we also don't want our refs to be bribed or caught
You're
up in
making
some kind of...
385. Who's bribing you at 385?
My point is we don't want the officials to get to that point.
Right, because we've not had a player be involved in anything like that in the last couple of years. Sure. How about that?
I'm just saying, all I want...
First off,
I just don't want replacement refs.
I don't want replacement refs either.
Okay.
But you're reacting because you learned what the number was. The number's pretty good. It's a lot higher than I thought. And by the way, if they successfully negotiate where the average salary is $450, good for them. I'm not telling you that they shouldn't ask for more. I'm just saying, though, when someone learns what the pay is, I think your reaction is, oh, wow, that's pretty good. And if the answer is, well, you guys are making billions, we should make more. Tell me what's...
And then we have college kids who will play 20 games making $2 million. But that's cool.
And you're still letting that bother you, man?
No, it's fine. College kids can make millions of dollars. The NFL doesn't want to pay refs a little bit more money. That's fine. It is what it is.
Bad comparison. Chris, here's the difference. Whether you like it or not, okay? People paid to watch Darren Peterson play when he played. Like I said, no one that I'm aware of said, are you kidding me? Sean Hockley's doing the CBS game at 1 on Sunday? Whoa.
It's not that you're paying to see refs.
If I don't have the red zone, I'm getting it now because I got to watch that.
It's not that you're paying to see a ref. Like, nobody's tuning in to listen to me. They expect the show when I'm on to be run perfectly and smoothly, but they come for you. Just like we watch NFL players. But we want the game to be called correctly and smoothly.
And leverage comes in a variety of forms. And like I said, if they can draw the line, which their leverage is, you know what a disaster replacement refs are going to be. And I think the NFL's line is 385 is pretty good with a raise that'll put you well over 400 in a few years.
And yet they continue to rake in billions from TV deals.
So what?
What do you mean, so what?
So what?
What do you mean?
Chris, you act like none of that money goes back. The salary cap ain't going down. The salary cap's going up. Is it not going up?
It is.
Okay. Yeah.
So we can't pay officials a little bit more money?
They just offered them a pretty decent raise. And again, I would think the majority of people that heard me say the number of $385,000 probably did a wait, what? Yeah. But I'll tell you what. I'll promise you right now. You find a 425 Fox game with Sean Hockley this year, and you can grill octopus at your house, and I'll be there. Okay?
Don't tempt me, Mark.
If you're like,
Mark, don't
hey,
tempt me.
Guess what I just found out? Like, yeah. Call my guy at Football Zebras, okay? And just say, hey, I know you get that list early in the week. Can you lock me down to the Hockey League game coming Sunday? Because I know Mark wants to watch that.
Don't tempt me.
Yeah.
I'll have you over, and we'll grill up some octopus.
Okay. And then I'll be like, holy smokes. Did you see the technique of the holding call right there? Yeah, the guard held him. No. Oculi. Did you see the way he gripped that arm, pulled it down, and correctly pronounced the name? I mean, the number and down in distance? That's what we're paying for right there, man. That's worth $700,000 right there, man. That's worth it right there. Alone. That right there. Worth alone. More than the beat of sports next. Chris, your effort in producing the 13-inning game yesterday paid off. UCF is ranked. D1 baseball ranked 23rd. 22nd in a perfect game college baseball poll. So nice for that. Good job. We talked earlier today about the Magic and their historic loss last night. Franchise record 52-point loss. Want to share your thoughts? You didn't do much of that earlier.
I mean, not much to say.
Huh? What?
Not much to say. The team's quit on Mosley, and I think that speaks volumes. And I mean, you're not going to do it in the, I guess we'll call it the thick of the playoff race. But
Well, people point out that Denver did, but it was after they won a world championship, and you would think if anything would have bought him more. Look, I don't think this ownership, this management is going to fire Jamal Mosley before the season ends. I mean, anything's possible. I don't think they will. And I will say this again. The ownership has to decide if you're firing the coach, who's hiring the next coach? You have to make a decision. Like, you can fire Mosley now before the season ends. I'm not quite sure what assistant you'd promote, but you could fire him and go with somebody for the rest of the way. But if you keep him and the year goes the way it looks like it's going, which is going to be a quick exit at some point, ownership has to be deciding now, are we going to keep Jeff Weltman? Again, barring this team in the final 8 games, figuring it out and going 6-2 and either finishing 6th or advancing out of the play-in, getting into a first round, getting healthy, going deep in that first round or advancing to the second round, it looks as if there's going to be a coaching change.
There's nothing Mosley can do to save his job.
Well, if they found a way and got into the second round, who knows? But I'm not quite sure these guys even care anymore. But you have to make a decision about who you want to coach the team, but first, who you want to pick that coach. And if you're going to make that change and you're going to make a decision about the person that's in charge of the basketball, are you as an ownership also saying, hey, we're going to make a change here at this position, and are you A, going to hire someone before the coach, hire someone and let them then decide we're going to break this up, or tell someone we're not breaking it up. Your job is to come in and find the right coach to get the best out of these players. That's all something that has to be going on now with your ownership as you evaluate this. Now, if you're keeping Jeff Weltman and you're making a coaching change, you're telling him you get to hire the next coach. If not, if you're not keeping him, that's part of this. Then the trickle down of who's in charge of the team, who hires the coach, and what are you doing with the core of this team? Are you saying we're going to give it a chance to be healthy? I've used at times the excuse of a lack of health for this team, which I think applies. Not the only excuse, a excuse, not the only. But you could lose. You could lose NBA games. But if you don't give effort and you look like didn't really care when it's the 74th game of the season and you know what the standings are. You don't need the rah-rah coach before the game. You don't need the speech and all that stuff. When people said the team wasn't prepared, it's on Jamal Mosley. It's on everybody. What player didn't know what was at stake last night? And yeah, it would be nice if they had a healthy basketball team.
Do you think with the uncertainty of Jeff Weltman's future, that's the main reason why they haven't made a change?
No. Oh wait, coach or trades, you mean?
Coach.
No. I think Jeff Weltman has believed that the team, I go back to the All-Star break, I believe that Jeff Weltman thought the team was going to get healthy, and they would give you the 7-game win streak as an example. And by the way, they weren't healthy then. Hey, now imagine if we get healthy. Listen, this season, just step out of last night's anger. This season is another season for Magic fans where the team can't be healthy. That's what drives you crazy. Okay? You can want a coaching change. You can rip Paolo, rip him last night, but you can do all that stuff. But it's another year of frustration because of how many games key players have missed. That's what drives you crazy with this team. And on top of it, I don't know when anybody comes back. Who the hell knows when Franz Wagner is going to play? And if it's, let's not bring him back for the 9-10 game? Save him for that? And with Black, who knows? Nobody ever knows when these guys come back. It's the light or light drills, no workout. Who cares? When are you playing? If you're not, then who cares? So, again, it's another year for what I have said for many, many years. This has been a supporting fan base that has been exhausted because of how many wasted seasons. It was wasted seasons of a rebuild. Build it up, didn't work, break it down. Rebuild it, didn't work, break it down. Rebuild it, draft young players are going to develop, and then this injury plague has come. Again, there's no excuse to lose a game by 52. There's no excuse to have a 31-0 run. They're asking players to play greater minutes that are not likely going to be consistent starters in the NBA. They're not. I mean, some nice guys that are nice stories. But you're not dealing with a full squad, and yet some guys out there just got to be better. If you're screaming and think Mosley's lack of preparation caused a 52-point loss, then you're just digging for stuff to pick on, which is fine. There's enough stuff to warrant them making a change. But don't let players off the hook. 31-0's on them. I mean, I wasn't Mosley going, hey, give a 5-on-none here. Let's turn a couple of balls over and make it easy for them. By the way, this happened Friday, the Tiger Woods stuff. Can I give you a quick observation?
Yes.
This is just from a distance. Addiction to painkillers is serious. And by the way, this is zero excuse for anything he did, but addiction to painkillers is serious. I just can, for the life of me, cannot understand for someone that has the resources that he has, that he doesn't have a 24/7 driver.
Don't get me started on that.
Don't
get me started on that.
Well, I did, and I just can't comprehend.
That is with any
whether he was drinking, whether he was taking something else, and clearly he was because he didn't want to take the urinalysis test. Okay, I just don't understand.
That is any athlete, celebrity, whatever you want to call it. There's no excuse for anyone. You have the money, you have the means. The NFL, I don't know if they still do it, but I know they used to provide.
Yes.
They still do it.
You can call the number. Yeah.
You get a free ride home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There is no reason for you to get any sort of DUI. No DUI, no DWI, whatever it is.
Or endanger the life of others. Yeah. Oh, no.
That pisses me off.
Yeah. Yeah.
No reason for it.
And I'm not giving his 7 back surgeries as an excuse. The consequences for your actions here. And it's just got to be, dude, come on, man. You don't even have to have the Uber app. I'm guessing you can hire somebody, and his job is 24/7, 365. When you want to go somewhere, he drives. And by the way, he can sign the NDA too if he needs to.
You can have a permanent limo where you can lay back.
Yeah.
Lay back if your back's hurting you.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, that one. That one's got all the makings of what is obvious of an addiction, and then just the lack of acceptance that, hey, I can do this, and I'll do the safe route here. But I mean, did you read the report of what happened? The car?
I saw he flipped it.
Yeah, yeah. And the guy in the truck saw, he didn't know it was Tiger, saw this thing coming, and like, it's going to hit me. It's going to hit me. Crazy, crazy. Come back. Put a wrap on the Monday show next.
Time for the latest news, gossip, trends, and off-the-wall stories. Trends. Ooh,
that's the craziest thing I ever heard.
Be curious what the TV number is. Might be later today, or definitely by tomorrow for that UConn Duke finish. It'll be big. It'll be good for college basketball. That's the prime slot that late Sunday afternoon. You know, when you watch Sean Hockley call an NFL game that Chris will be locked in on. What?
Hey, you're coming over for some grilled octopus.
Yeah. But last night attendance announced just over 11,000 for the Orlando Storm game, the soccer stadium downtown. First weekend done of UFL action. Orlando did win last night, playing Saturday for their next game. Mentioned UCF baseball getting ranked after the nice week that they had, sweeping Arizona. Penn State women's volleyball team will face Kentucky and Nebraska. Will face Missouri Labor Day weekend at Wrigley Field. Wow. Nebraska played a volleyball match at their football stadium. I think they drew 90,000 for that. Yeah. I just found out for Wednesday's Penn State baseball game at UCF plays. No visiting radio booth. I'm in the press box. That's always good. That's not awkward. You know? Yeah. The Big Ten, man. Really? They have 3 booths.
I would.
They go home radio, Big Ten Network, and instant replay.
I would say it's a home field advantage thing, but
would you just put me in the stands? Sit outside. Except it's going to be raining. So. This will be fun. This will be fun. Early flight tomorrow. This sounds obnoxious. I haven't flown commercial in a long time.
Hey!
Thank you.
Hey!
But with all the TSA delays and everything, we'll see what tomorrow's like. Early flight. Mike Tuck sits in for me tomorrow as I make my way up to Penn State for a baseball game Wednesday. Then I'll be over at West Virginia for the weekend. But Tuck's here. Tomorrow, talk with Matt and Michelle on the Mark Off the Mark. I'll join for a segment as well. I'm sure Mike has plenty of thoughts on the Magic and things like that. If you missed any of today's program, go where you get your favorite podcast. Time for the Beat of Sports on Demand. Get the entire show. When you're there, subscribe. Get it downloaded. List what's convenient for you. And the video stream available for you to go back and watch. Go to YouTube, 96 of the Game Orlando. Click on the station logo, the live button, and watch this show back when it works for you. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, Mark.
Chris produced on Marc Daniels, the Beat of Sports.